The Audi A4, BMW's 3 Series and the Mercedes-Benz C-Class have been duking it out for more than 20 years now. And for the early part of that period, the Merc and the BMW probably had an advantage over the Audi. But these days, it's very much even Stevens. In 2014, Mercedes-Benz brought a brand new C-Class to the market. Last year, the 3 Series was significantly updated. And now, finally, there's a brand new A4. Which makes it a bit of a latecomer. And the question is whether the car has been worth the wait. The A4 is one of Audi's most popular models, both locally and globally. South African sales of the nameplate now total around 109,000 units, but it's taken Audi more than a year longer than expected to release this new generation A4, mainly to make full use of the latest chassis technology and to allow for future drivetrain upgrades. Not surprisingly, this all-new A4 is larger than its predecessor, but it's also more aerodynamic and weighs significantly less, which promises enhanced dynamics and improved efficiency. The problem with a strong identity is that it doesn't leave much room for progression. This is very much an Audi, and it's clearly an Audi A4, but it doesn't really look that much different until you start looking at the details. Brand new, slimmer headlights, a redesigned grille, but it also still has those crisp lines and those muscular haunches that you'd expect of a car. In fact, this new A4 is more like a larger A3 sedan than it is a smaller A6. Frankly, that's a good thing. It makes for a more athletic silhouette. At 4.73 meters long, 1.84 meters wide and 1.43 meters high, this is hardly a compact sedan. The wheelbase has been extended to 2.82 meters, allowing for a more spacious cabin. But visually, the car conceals its size well, with a strong sense of aesthetic balance. However, the shape almost demands big wheels to match the rest of the dynamic look. Our test car was fitted with optional 18-inch alloys, but base models make do with 16-inch wheels. The new A4 comes in 3 model lines dubbed Standard, Sport and Design, while an optional S-Line exterior package adds further visual appeal. Audi has always been tops when it comes to interiors, and this new A4 is no different. Of particular note, the use of what Audi calls the virtual cockpit, first seen in the Audi TT, and also first now in this segment, basically a TFT display integrated into the instrument cluster and configurable depending on user preference. But that's not really the only highlight. Also new, there's now a fixed color screen and a new center console, which is much more ergonomically intuitive than before. At first glance, the interior treatment is almost starkly minimalist, but you soon realize that uncluttered elegance is a better description. The button count is limited and the overall layout and design is focused on ease of use. The MMI system, which acts as the key interface between the car's infotainment system and the driver, is better than ever as far as intuitive operation is concerned, while the overall execution feels every bit as quality-driven as it looks. That extra wheelbase means that the cabin feels roomy and inviting too, including for rear passengers who now have leg and shoulder room to spare. The boot has also increased in size and now offers a full 480 litres, extendable even further by folding the 60-40 split rear seatback flat. The new A4 range launches with 2 petrol engines, both turbocharged. At the small end of the scale, a 1.4-litre TFSI rated at 110 kilowatts of maximum power, linked to 250 newton meters. And then there's this engine. It's a 2-litre TFSI, carries the Ultra designation, delivers 140 kilowatts of maximum power and 320 newton meters of torque. The Ultra badge means that it's a high-efficiency engine, and Audi actually promises a fuel consumption figure which will rival that of its turbo diesel. However, our 2-litre Ultra Power test car never got even close to the official 4.9 litres per 100 kilometres figure, recording a low 7 litres per 100 k's consumption in a mix of conditions, which admittedly included some enthusiastic driving. Delivering the 4-cylinder engine's urge to the front wheels is a 7-speed S-tronic dual-clutch gearbox with shift paddles. There's no manual gearbox option, but in practice, the S-tronic box works a treat. Once on the move in this new A4, the car feels a lot more agile, more compact than you'd expect. It's frisky and engaging, but the levels of refinement are very impressive as well, almost in the luxury limo league, and that's a combination that's usually very difficult to achieve. Performance is athletic, if not hardcore sporty, with a claimed 0 to 100 sprint time of 7.3 seconds and a 210 km/h top speed. Drive Select, standard on this 2-litre model, allows a measure of customization to suit driver preference by adding heft to the steering, sharpening throttle response and speeding up gear shift reactions in sport mode, or placing greater emphasis on either comfort or efficiency. You can also customize those parameters, opting for sporty cog swaps, but easier steering, for instance. The new Audi A4 offers significant gains over the outgoing model in terms of space, interior execution, refinement and efficiency. Perhaps more important, it's also a particularly thrilling and engaging car to drive, even in this fairly standard execution. And when next year's S4 comes, we'll get to see what the chassis is truly capable of. But for now, it's certainly a car that's up to the task of tackling its rivals from Munich and Stuttgart. The new Audi A4 looks larger and sleeker than its predecessor, but links more space and finer appointments to less weight, greater efficiency and much improved refinement. The chassis composure is impressive, delivering excellent driving dynamics. The 2-litre engine is willing and the 7-speed dual-clutch gearbox is slick, but fuel consumption doesn't come close to the factory promise.